Hi. A few weeks ago there was an eBay auction for an AV Famicom console which was modded by someone in France, but something went wrong or it didn't work out, and he auctioned this Famicom console as is, so with the modding and everything still on there, but yeah, it's not working. So I got the auction, and it finally arrived. So you see it's all taken apart by the guy. He didn't even put it back together, but yeah, that's it. So we'll see what we can do, and yeah, first thing I think I'm going to do is take away all the things he did, and then we'll see what we can do, if we can get an image on this machine, and if so, if needed, we'll fix it, so to get it working. Yeah. First take it. It's already coming loose. These things, these wires. He lifted the leg of the PPU of the composite video, soldered against the, I think, the ground plane on the. Not such a pretty job he did, but hey, see what we can do. The first thing I'm curious about is, does it give us an image anyway? Does it do something? How does the pin, how does the voltage of the console, how does it read out? Do we get our 5 volts DC on the right places? And so on and so on. So I'll take all this stuff off. Yeah, it's bent pretty horribly, but okay. It's only the composite, so that's not such a big deal. Those are the CPU and the PPU are version G versions of the chips, so that is a good revision if we ever want to high defness mod this one. Yeah, okay. So what I really like to know is what are the voltages on this motherboard. So we have to measure some stuff. What I see here is that the ground and the positive side is in reverse of what is on a normal PAL console. So or on a front loader, on a top loader. So I'm going to wire up a few wires to put on the power supply. Just gonna solder a few wires on it, and then we'll see if we power it up what the 7805 does, if it gives us our 5 volts we need. So the pin is ground and the outer side is the positive, for what I can see on the circuit here. So on the I will solder this to the ground plane here. So yellow is ground. I'll steal a red wire from the mod they try to do, and we'll put this on the positive side. So this is the positive side. Maybe that's a first thing the guy didn't know. and they powered it via a normal AC adapter, which has a positive on the center and negative on the middle. So possibly they've blown something up, yeah, screwing up the positive and the negative side. But we'll see what that brings us. So I have to strip this wire so I can get some current on there, get some power connected. Okay, my power supply is on 7.5 volts, 2 amps should be enough. So this is the negative side. I'll connect. Okay. So we have our negative side here, which is the yellow wire. On the 7805, it's the middle one. The middle pin is the ground. So we'll connect that up there. Put our multimeter on DC voltage, like that. Measure, so I get 7.5, like the supply says. So we'll hook up the 7805 to the power supply. It's giving 0 amps. So one side I have 705, the other side I have 705, so that's not what we need. Shut it off and let's take out this 7805. Let's desolder that. I think I have to take the screw out. So the 7805 is dead. I hope it's okay, but I think there is a bit of damage which is done to the console by I think polarity swapping. So it should be free now. Let's see if we can take it out and swap it out with a working version. Should come loose fairly easy. That's the dead 7805. Okay, so these are brand new ones. Like so. 7805. I'll just replace the one that was blown up. Try to take a bit of the solder away. putting back. I'll just put the screw back in so it's in its place, and then we'll solder it together, and we'll take another measurement. See what it does. It should give us a nice clean 5 volts. That's what we need. Okay, let's trim this a bit already. Shouldn't be that long. Anyway. I've bridged them. Okay, so we've replaced the 7805 with a new one. We'll wire up again, and then we'll see if we get a nice clean 5 volts or not. I hope we get something, and I hope that that is one of the few things that's wrong with it. But I'm not hopeful, because if it had yeah, the polarity reversed, then that's not a good thing, and I think that we'll see a few other things which are dead. Surprisingly, we have 5 volts. So we have 7.3, 7.5 input. We have our, yeah, my battery is dead of the multimeter, I think. We have 5 volts, clean 5.12 volts on the output. So that's the first thing we needed. Okay, so we've changed the 7805. We checked the voltages. So if we turn the console on now, we get a clean 5.4 CPU and PPU. Now we'll check if we can get something, an image on there. I'm not going to bother with the amp and stuff. I'm just going to wire the TV, the composite, onto the composite pin of the PPU, and then we'll see what it does. Should give us, if it works, should give us something, right? So yeah, it's not pretty, but it should work. We should get some image, some kind of an image on there. So yeah, at least it detects something. Okay, let's get a card in here. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Next step. Do we get a clock signal? We'll see. We'll see. Switch on the oscilloscope for us. Okay, here. So we'll just look up the clock signal and the ground, and we'll see what it does. It should be the 3rd pin here. think. Yeah, yeah. The clock signal should be a third pin. Let's fire it up. Okay, so I get 21.48 megahertz. So we have a clock going in. Yeah. Okay. So we have a clock signal. We have the correct voltages. So yeah, something must have not liked the reverse polarity, I guess, on one of the chips. Maybe two of the CPU and the PPU who are dead. Okay, we'll start by removing them, putting them on a socket, and then we'll go from there. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tin the legs of them, of CPU and PPU, and then we'll see if we can take them out with the vacuum desoldering station. Just to make sure we have new solder on all the pins and they're nicely flowed in. Okay, that's the tinning. Start getting the temperature up of the desoldering station. There are not much components. Yeah, very much passive. There are very much passive components on the board. Not not much anything else. I hope when we socket the CPU and the PPU and we put new chips in them, I hope then it will solve the problem. because I don't think they liked the reverse polarity on the thing, on the connector. Yeah, that's maybe. I think that's the reason why it didn't work with the other person, because frankly it didn't do that bad of a job in soldering the wires and everything. It's not surface mount, so it's not so bad, but we'll see. The vacuum station is up to temperature, and we'll start by desoldering. That old solder ups on the top doesn't like to be sucked out, I think. Okay. We'll add some flux on the top of the IC to get the solder melting better, because it will not work like that. See what it does again with the flux on top. I think it should work a lot better now. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay, so I'll probably fast forward this bit, and I will come back to you when the CPU and the PPU are removed, and now we'll replace them. We put that on video again, just to watch. Okay, so we'll fast forward this. Okay, so I desoldered the CPU and the PPU on the Famicom board. I socketed them, and in testing I found out that the CPU, which was originally on the board, died. There was a wire going to the resets and stuff. I don't know why they did it, but I think yeah, they messed up something. I also believe that they changed the polarity on the power input, and that's why the 7805 died. So we changed that too. And then there is this 2SA937 transistor, which also died. And it was giving an image, but it was not good, and after removing it and hooking up the composite to the television, then everything was fine. So the CPU died, probably also by reversing the polarity. The 7805 died, and the transistor also died. So we've changed the CPU with another one, with a working one. And I take a card and we'll fire it up, and you see that it works perfectly. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Um, I probably will try to get another camera setup so you can see the working area a bit better. Maybe next videos, if I have some kind of reaction on the vids I do, maybe then I'll change, I'll add another camera so you can see the top of the bench a bit better, and you can see all the stuff I do. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.